Hello everyone, welcome to Super English Grammar. This is our part 2 video on the series Native English. In this video, you're going to learn 20 most commonly used native English expressions, idioms and phrases with meaning and examples. Let me remind you, the motto of this native English series is to help you sound more like native speakers of English. So, without any further delay, let's jump into the video. Number 1. You are minging. Let's say it's winter and your friend hasn't taken a shower since the last week. As a result, his body is smelling very unpleasantly. In this situation, native speakers of British English say, "You are minging. Go and take a shower." Thus, minging means bad smelling. Number 2. It's dench. You've seen a video that has caught your attention and impressed you greatly. In this situation, you're going to say, "Wow, it's awesome." But native speakers of British English will say, "It's dench." Thus, it's dench means it's awesome, cool, or beautiful. Number 3. Bodge something. Your boss has given you a presentation to prepare. As a fresher, you couldn't do it very well. In this situation, native speakers use the phrase, "Oh, you have botched the presentation," which means you haven't been able to produce the presentation as expected. Thus, to bodge something means to repair something very badly or to make a mess of something. Number 4. Bob's your uncle. Let's say you're guiding someone to the process of making tea, and you want to express the fact that the process of making tea is very, very easy and it's a piece of cake. In this situation, native speakers of British English use "Bob's your uncle" to express the effortlessness of something. Example, to make tea, just add milk and sugar to hot water, and Bob's your uncle, it's ready. Number 5. Just popping out. Let's say you are with your friends in a meeting and you want to go to take tea or coffee outside. What phrases will you use in this situation? In this situation, native speakers of British English will say, "Just popping out to take tea." Thus, popping out means to go out to do something and return quickly. Number 6. Let's catch up. This is also a commonly used expression by native speakers of English. This expression is the alternative expression for "let's meet." So use this phrase when you want to say "let's meet." Example, John, I haven't covered the entire syllabus. Let's catch up today for a group discussion over the prescribed topics. Number 7. Sit on the fence. This phrase means to remain neutral or to refuse to take sides in a dispute. It's used in a derogatory way about someone who lacks courage to decide. Example, don't sit on the fence, either support or oppose. Thus, sitting on the fence means not taking sides due to lack of courage. Number 8. When pigs fly. The phrase "when pigs fly" is used as part of a sentence to mean that something is very unlikely to ever happen. Example, you say you'll wake up at 6 in the morning. It will only happen when pigs fly. Thus, when pigs fly means that something is most probably not going to take place. Number 9. Shoot from the hip. This is a very, very informal expression often used by native speakers of English. Shoot from the hip means to react to some situation without thinking carefully about it. Example, John often shoots from the hip without knowing all the facts. Thus, shoot from the hip means to act or react recklessly. Number 10. Once in a blue moon. The phrase once in a blue moon means not very often or very rarely and used as part of a sentence. This is one of the most frequently used expressions in English. Example, nowadays she is busy with her preparation. I only see her once in a blue moon. Thus, once in a blue moon means that something takes place very rarely. Number 11. Make a long story short. The phrase make a long story short means to describe what happened briefly in a few words, leaving each and every minor detail. If you say to make a long story short, you mean that you are only going to describe the main points. Example, to make the long story short, I sold my old laptop. Thus, to make a long story short suggests that you don't want to go into details while describing something. Number 12. Leave no stone unturned. The expression leave no stone unturned means to try each and every possible way to achieve some goal. If you leave no stone unturned, you make an onerous effort to achieve some goal, trying out every possible way. Example, I left no stone unturned to clear the entrance test. Thus, to leave no stone unturned suggests that you try very, very hard to achieve your goal. Number 13. Hit the books. The phrase hit the books is one of the most common expressions among students. This phrase means to study very, very, very hard. If you hit the books, you begin to study in a serious and determined way. Example, I have 4 exams this week. I have to hit the books. So, hit the books means to study hard. Number 14. Don't judge a book by its cover. The idiom don't judge a book by its cover means that you should not judge someone or something solely based on their appearance without knowing the full situation. Example, John is the most knowledgeable person. Don't judge a book by its cover, saying he does not know anything. Number 15. Let the cat out of the bag. The phrase let the cat out of the bag means to reveal a secret recklessly or by mistake. If you let the cat out of the bag, you tell of the secret mistakenly. Example, finally, I had no other option than letting the cat out of the bag. 16. Pass an exam with flying colors. The phrase pass an exam or test with flying colors means to pass or clear the exam or test very easily and successfully. If you could pass an exam with flying colors, it means the exam was very easy for you and you scored well in the exam. Example, John is very good at English. He passed the communicative English paper with flying colors. Number 17. Get the head around something challenging. The phrase get the head around something means to succeed in understanding something. If you get your head around something, you start understanding it. Example, it was initially difficult, but I got my head around the chapter of phrasal verb when I read it thrice. Number 18. To stick to guns. The phrase stick to guns means to refuse to change one's mind. If you stick to your guns, you don't change your own opinion about something despite criticism. Example, although John was very badly criticized, he is stuck to his guns. Number 19. Cross one's mind. If some idea or thought crosses your mind, you start thinking about it for a short period of time. That is, the thought or idea occurs to your mind. Example, it crossed my mind that I would need to release the payment for continuation. Number 20. Speak one's mind. If you speak your mind, you say exactly what you think, and you don't worry if your word will upset anyone. That is, you have the courage to say what you think and what you want to say, and you disregard what other people will think about it. Example, John is never afraid to speak his mind.